Hi, this is John with Bank Account Bonus Central, and today we have a very special video because I am joined with someone who is a former banker from Chase, who has a lot that they would like to share in regards to what actually happens on the other side of the teller's desk. So this channel is all about opening up new accounts and making money, but what actually happens on the other side? And today I'd like to introduce my very special guest. His name, we're going to call him Daniel. We have his image blurred and his voice scrambled for sake of his personal safety. And Daniel, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very good, John. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad you are here. We've had a few conversations off the air, and go ahead. And what would you like to share with the Bank Account Bonus Central community?
All right. Well, I thought about this prior to us meeting today, and it's something really that is not well known in the not in the industry, but rather amongst the public, right? Um, and it's the reason why these banks all offer bonuses, right? Um, the most important account. And this was a funny thing, and I hadn't realized it until I started working at the bank, that the most important accounts in the bank were deposit accounts, savings, checking, and CDs. Checking, however, being the most important.
Why is that?
Um, why is that?
Yeah.
Well, as you may know, but most people don't think about, banks make money by loaning money, right? So they want to encourage people to come in and open accounts so that they have money to lend. And it's kind of like a business where you're getting the product for free and you sell it. It's all profit, right? So it's kind of like that with the banks and my money or your money. Um, and that's not something that they focus on. That's not something that they talk about. But it is the driving force behind what they do. Um, and it was weird to me because people had other types of accounts, investment accounts, let's say, but those were not the most important ones. The most important ones were always deposit accounts. And that's something that most people are not aware of or even think about.
Yeah, for new customers, I remember I was a Chase customer for 20 years and I saw an advertisement online and it said $300 bonus for new checking customers. So I walked into my local branch and I said, "Hey, what's up with this $300?" They said new customers only. And I said, "Well, I've been with y'all 20 years. That's got to be worth something." And the banker lady said, "No." I was like, "Well, I paid off my mortgage with y'all. That's got to be worth something, right? You have value for loyal customers, right?" "No, new customers only." So let me ask you, what makes the new customer so special?
It's new money. And the fact that they're not worried about the old customer because, first of all, it's JP Morgan Chase. I mean, one of the most prestigious names in the financial industry, right? So who's going to want to leave JP Morgan Chase? Okay. So they really did take current customers for granted because I had that same conversation with many people myself. And it was at times difficult for me to justify why they shouldn't leave. And in fact, what I recommended is that they close their account for about a month and then come back and open another one.
I thought it was 90 days or 3 months.
Back then, 30 days would do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can be a new customer every 30 days.
And I'm going to have to be honest as well. It would also benefit myself because I'm bonused on new accounts.
Wow.
So and that's just the way that it was. And it was interesting, but that's just how it is.
So I had no idea that the progression went from you could be a new customer at 30 days sitting on the sidelines to then 90 days. And now it's 2 years. You can get a new customer bonus every 2 years for personal accounts and 2 years for business accounts.
Oh, wow. That I didn't know.
All right. Well, it's been a minute since you've worked for Chase. Would you like to share with the community how you, when you started and how you got started?
Yeah, I started back in 2004. It was probably around the beginning of the summertime. I would say about June, July. And it was funny because prior to that, I had applied several times and never even got a word back saying, hey, we're not interested. It was, I created a profile on Chase's website. I got an email saying that my application was submitted and that I would receive an email or some type of contact um, with the I guess the result of their investigation or looking into my resume and background. And I had done that maybe about 3 times, uh, and I would say within a year prior to that. And then, unbeknownst to me, a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine who I'd worked with in the insurance business, um, calls me up out of the blue and says, hey, I'm working at Chase Bank. It's a pretty good gig. I think you'd be interested, and I think you do really well. What do you think? You can come down, let's talk. And we met, we had a conversation, we went to lunch, and I thought, you know what, this doesn't sound too bad. And he set up a meeting with the VP of the bank. That's what they call the branch managers. And really, it was not even an interview. I think that he just wanted to look me over and make sure that I was not, you know, some guy with, I don't know, long hair and tattoos on my face. Um, and but he said, hey, all you need to do is go ahead and create a profile online, and you're in. You can start whenever everything gets done. I said, well, I've already got a profile. He says, no, you're going to have to create another one. And so I did. And within a matter of days, I received an email on a start date, which was to me was amazing because I thought I'd applied for this job. My qualifications haven't changed, but today I get the job because I've got somebody on the inside in the banking industry. So
that sounds almost like you got to be in with somebody. Like I don't want to say mobster, but you got to be in with somebody on the inside.
So that really is the way it is. I never saw anyone the time that I was there hired that just came in off the street.
Wow.
And again, it didn't really matter what their qualifications were. You had to be referred by someone there. It kind of is like an inside, you know, it's kind of like a mob thing where, you know, Vito's got to get you in. Otherwise.
And if you do somebody dirty, they'll break your knees.
Oh yeah, they break your knees. That's a given. That was part of the rules. It was in the orientation.
Wow. Wow. So this is, I said, the confessions of a former Chase banker. This is absolutely phenomenal. And so basically, yes, this is John with Bank Account Bonus Central, and this is Daniel. He is a former Chase banker. Before we continue on, I want to introduce how we met because, yeah, those are actual stories from when he worked at Chase, and he does have a lot more to share. And this is something, as I said, that I definitely have been looking forward to sharing with this community for a long time. Briefly want to share how we met is because of the COVID pandemic. I'm a high school math teacher. I was stuck of sitting inside on Zoom meetings and teaching kids who didn't want to be there, and I didn't want to be there. So I got on my bike and I would ride between 15 to 20 miles a day. And there's a trail that's close to our house, and I saw this guy walking his dog, and I said, hey, I was telling people about bank accounts because there was a church close to where both of us live that has on Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings, they're giving out food. I was like, my God, you know, there's a line a mile long, and where we live, it's not a poor part of town. Mm-hmm. And to see a line line of people a mile long begging for food. It's like, if people knew how to make money off of banks, off bank accounts, they wouldn't be doing this. So I'm still excited about telling people about this. So I started a conversation with Daniel, and he said, "Hey, I know about all this because I've worked for Chase." I was like, "Really? I guess I'm wasting my time." He said, "No." And we became friends and good friends. We see each other, hang out, ride bikes. He's got his dog. And so we started a conversation. I said, wouldn't it be cool to share this with the community? And so let me ask you more about how you started at Chase. Why did you want to get into the banking industry, Daniel?
Well, there were a few reasons. One was I thought I could help people in different ways. But also I thought that I would have access to people that were higher net worth than I currently had access to. However, it didn't turn out that way because as it happens, the branch that I was located in was one that was not in the best part of town. The Westwood branch. I don't even know if it's still there. I would imagine it is, but it was in the Westwood branch. So it didn't do for me what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to be a good career move. As it turned out, it wasn't. But that's what I was looking for.
What did you do before going to Chase?
Sold insurance, life, health insurance. And the thing about what was most attractive is it's very difficult finding clients. That's the biggest thing when you're in the insurance business. And the most attractive part of Chase was that they already had clients. So I wouldn't have to go looking for clients. We already had them.
Did you work for yourself as an independent agent or for an agency?
I worked as an independent agent.
Okay. And then you went to Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, did you start as a banker? Because you've told me stuff about Chase. I had no idea. And I've been a Chase customer for over 22 years now. I didn't know that they sold insurance. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So did you start as a banker or did you start as an insurance agent?
Yeah, we all in this role that I was in, it's called the Chase Personal Banker. Oh, that's what it was called. And so our primary role was opening accounts. However, we would begin the process of insurance sales and annuities. Investments, they wouldn't allow us to do. They would allow us to recommend them because we were licensed. Mm-hmm. However, we would have to refer those to the in-house financial advisor. Gotcha. But we got credit on those as well. Yeah. But our role was specifically opening accounts, and it was personal relationship banker is actually the actual title that we had.
And it was just like the banker told me, the new accounts were the most valuable. Because, yes, as you said, it's new money coming into the bank.
Our compensation was based on new accounts. You know, it wasn't had nothing to do with servicing old accounts.
Would you mind sharing what the compensation looked like for, like, okay, so let's say I'm a Chase customer. I opened my account. I got my bonus. I closed my account. I'm sitting on the sidelines and I'm coming in, opening up a new account. So let's say the current promotion is if I open a new account, I send one direct deposit, I get $225. Mm-hmm. And I have a referral link in the description box down below if anybody's interested in opening up a new Chase checking account. Anyway, so what is the compensation like for the banker?
So on average, we were looking at anywhere from, well, we had a base salary, of course, right? Okay. And back then, I want to say maybe 34,000.
Okay.
And then on average bonuses, we'd be looking at about $4 or $5 grand
per month.
But those bonuses were based again on opening new accounts. It didn't, and it was funny because the deposits that were made didn't matter. In other words, the amount of deposits didn't matter. It was just the fact that the accounts were opened. And we weren't given, we didn't have to wait a month or 3 months or 2 months for that bonus to trigger. It was based within that month.
Wow.
Mhm.
So you said 4,000 to 5,000. Was that per month for a bonus for bonuses for opening up new accounts?
Yes. Now that included, of course, some life insurance sales, but the bonuses were only triggered if you opened certain number of checking accounts, deposit accounts.
Okay, so for example, I'm going to poke into this a little bit more. So let's say I open up a new account and I get 225. Would you be able to roughly approximate how much a banker would get on that type of account opening?
Well, no, because for that one account, I really wouldn't make anything. It was just an accumulation of open accounts, and so and I don't remember exactly what the number was every month, but I know that there were minimums, and we had to do at least 20 accounts a month.
Okay.
And then it was cumulative. The bonus was cumulative based on how many more on top of that we did. So you would begin to get to the first part of your bonuses doing the minimum.
So the minimum would be 20 accounts per month.
They were looking at one a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can open up one account per day.
One a day. Yeah.
So a common thing is when I would go in branch to Chase or other places, I would apply for a checking account and they would be more than happy to open it. I've never been rejected from opening up a checking account in person. And they'd often say, by the way, multiple times, you're pre-approved for a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to Wells Fargo. This is the first time I made $1,000 in 1 hour. They had a promotional in 2018 where if you open up a business checking account, you put in like $2,000 into the account. I got $500. If you also got the business credit card and you spent, I think, $2,000 on that, you got another $500. And no credit check, no anything. Just you're pre-approved. I made $1,000 off that 1 hour. I mean, did you also get additional bonuses for opening up credit cards? Can you speak?
Yeah, and actually, yeah, we did. And those would, as we're opening the account, entering the information, it was something that was done automatically, and it would just pop up on the screen saying, you know, credit card offer, and it would often tell us the amount that was being extended as credit, and if they accepted, and usually, you know, I would just tell them like you were told, like, hey, guess what? You're also approved for a Chase credit card. Isn't that awesome? And most of the time they'd say, yeah, that's pretty cool. And sometimes there was a tie-in to use the card, spend so much on it. And then back then, of course, we had Chase Rewards was huge, including in the checking accounts. So your debit card was tied to a Chase Rewards account. So I always encourage people to use that to make all of their purchases because you got money back. And free money is free money, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're on here.
So yeah, but we were also compensated. The credit cards, I think I remember it being like $25 for each account that they accepted. So if you could imagine, if we're doing, if we're averaging, let's say 5 a week, that's an additional $125. But again, that was predicated on us opening a certain number of accounts per month. Otherwise, that bonus would not be included.
So I remember the conversation like it was yesterday with the banker. She said, shut down your account, come back in 90 days, and we'll give you a $300 bonus. I opened that account and asked her, what else do y'all do? She said, open a savings account, you'll get another 300. Beautiful. I opened up one, I got 300. My wife opened up one, she got 300. So the banker lady sitting there, cha-ching, cha-ching. What else do you got? She said, upgrade to a Sapphire, and we'll get you another 600. I said, sign me up.
Right.
Oh, that's checking, savings, Sapphire checking. That's 4 accounts. So they make money off these as well.
Absolutely.
And is there a differentiation between, because Sapphire checking is after your time, but do you think that there would be a bigger incentive for the bigger accounts? Like
no, back then there weren't. Back then it was just as many accounts as you can bring in. In fact, we used to sometimes go sit at the mall and put up a little table and try to get customers that way.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mhm.
So my next question was, did you ever feel like there was pressure to open up accounts?
You know, I would answer that yes and no, right? Because unless we opened accounts and met our quota, we weren't bonused.
Wow.
But it wasn't like we had someone over our shoulder saying, you know, how many accounts did you open today? And maybe that's because of the branch manager that we had, the VP, very easygoing guy. Now, the other thing though is we always met our numbers. So I couldn't say from the perspective of maybe someone that's not getting there, because in sales, you're always going to have somebody on your back if you're not meeting your numbers, right? But our branch always did. All of the bankers that we had were awesome people, and we always met our numbers. So I couldn't necessarily say that it was we were pressured from the company itself, but pressure on ourselves because we knew we wouldn't get certain bonuses if we didn't perform. Yeah, so in that sense, yes.
Wow. So y'all went to the mall to
Yeah.
open up accounts. I've been accused by like my wife and by other people who know me. They said, "Hey, that sounds like something you would do, John, just to get those bonuses." What other things did y'all do to help people sign up for accounts so you can make bonuses?
So one of the things that we did, the Westwood branch was right down the street from Sharpstown Mall. Sharpstown Mall is one of the places that we used to go to. In fact, there was a, I won't mention the name, there was a jewelry store there that was a bank customer, and they would allow us so that we didn't have an issue with the mall, or we wouldn't have to get permission from the mall. We would set up right at the cusp of their store and the mall itself, the entrance to the mall, right? Because they were inside the mall, they were within the mall, and that's where we would set up. It was a big jewelry retailer, and we would probably do that about twice a month. And we had little applications that we could fill out or have the customers fill out, and that we'd take it back to the office. That was a new account.
Wow.
Other things that we did, we just did network marketing. We would go to meetings where business owners met, because we would also try to bring in business accounts as well. Now the business accounts did count a little bit differently. The bonuses were the same, but they counted for more than a regular personal checking account. Business accounts did, yes.
Yeah, because I have a personal, one of the like the I'm not private client, but there's other bankers, because I've been going to this branch for 20 years. They know me by name. I said I was looking into getting rental homes as an investment, and thank God it didn't, because that was fairly difficult type thing to get into with the eviction moratorium and stuff like that. But they would call me weekly or every other week, and and they would help me get into different products that I really wanted, different credit cards I wanted. And every time I'd go there and say, "Hey, by the way, you're pre-approved." Right now, the big thing is for Chase is 524. If you have more than 5 credit cards within the last 24 months, he would still be able to hook me up. He'd say, "Hey, you can get a Southwest card." It's like, I don't fly.
Right.
But there's still that bonus mentality there. And,
yes.
I believe you remember you told me that there is you would help people who didn't have social security numbers to open up accounts.
So back then we had just been through 9/11. It had been a few years, and so we actually had to verify all of our customers at the branch. There was a number we dialed, we entered the social security number, and then it told us whether or not it was good. But there were a lot of people that would come in without social security that still needed to open an account. And so we used to get, I would say on average, 5 to 10 a week.
Wow.
So at one point I was thinking, man, that's a lot of people that I'm not able to help and bonuses. So I went to my branch manager and I said, "Hey, because from the insurance business on the insurance side, an ITIN works as identification, right? So I asked him, I wonder if we're able to do this in the same way. And he said, you know what, let me make some phone calls. I'm going to figure this out and I'll let you know. And in fact, he said, yeah, you know what, we can use the ITIN for as a substitute for the Social Security number. And so what I would tell people is, another thing is that we had the IRS an IRS office right up the street on 59 and Hillcroft, maybe, I think it was, not exactly sure, 5 minutes from the branch. And so I would tell people, hey, all you've got to do is go up the street. I'd give them the address, show them how to get there, and ask them to apply for an ITIN and come back when you've got it, and I can open the account for you. So that was awesome.
Bankers got to get their bonuses.
That's right.
So the bonus structure, you said you got to open up at least 20 per month and you get paid off that. The business accounts counted for more.
Mm-hmm.
Did you open up the business credit cards, or is that a different person?
No, we did the business credit cards as well. Yes. Yeah. We did everything related to the deposit account, and any offers that came subsequent to that. That was something that we did.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other stories you'd like to share with the Bank Account Bonus Central community?
No, just that the reality is that it's funny, because even though I knew this, when I talked to you, I was thinking, why am I not doing this? You know, I realized that this was a thing, you know, 15, 16 years ago. And here I am, really just not collecting free money.
Absolutely.
Because that's really what it is.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of silly to think about it. But, you know, sometimes they say, like, doctors don't take care of themselves as well as they do their patients. And so, you know, I think, I guess maybe it falls into that type of category. I don't know. But it's a real thing. It's not something that you're making up. Banks want your money.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, a business partner named RJ, he says Chase has a lot of money. Why not make their money your money? And
Absolutely.
same with all the rest of them. There is no value for loyalty out there at all. And the banker told me. So after I got $1,500 from Chase for being a new customer, I decided, why should I be loyal to any bank if they value, like, for example, Hancock Whitney, they require one direct deposit per year, and they give me $300, and I can catch a new customer bonus every calendar year. So for 4 years in a row, I'd give them one direct deposit. They'd give me $300. I'd keep the account open for 6 months, shut it down, wait for the next year, rinse, lather, rinse, repeat. And if they do that to loyal customers, would you give loyal customers $300 per year?
They won't. No, no one does.
Well, unless you're in the know. I mean, that's the part of this community, is to know how to make money off of banks using their own terms and conditions. I want to help all the bankers I can make all the bonuses they can, so I can make all the bonuses I can as well.
Absolutely.
And that's not being greedy.
No.
That's helping the community at large.
The money's out there. It's not illegal. It's not immoral. And it's money that's out there for whoever wants it. That's the reality.
Absolutely. And everybody prospers from this. Chase, they're a ginormous corporation. They have their stocks. They have their their shareholder meetings and their corporate meetings. And the biggest metric for a corporation is, how many new customers do we have? How many more locations can we make? How much bigger can we expand this kingdom of Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America or whatever other bank there is?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So once again, I want to thank Daniel for coming on to this show for Confessions of a Former Chase Banker. He is a good friend of mine, and he does sell insurance, annuities, and stuff like that. If y'all would like for Daniel to come back and share with the community about how he can benefit others. Daniel, let me ask you right quick. Why did you go from Chase to what you're doing now?
I realized that the best thing that I could do for people was help them protect what they worked for. And there was no better place to be to do that than life insurance and health insurance, right? People work hard. You're teaching people how to make extra money. And you know, while we oversimplify things sometimes and go, hey, just do it, but you know, it takes time, right? And you've got to go through steps. All the things that we do in this country, one of the things I've found is it's easier than others to start a business, to make money. However, you have to work hard for it.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I like to help my clients do is keep as much of it as possible.
Absolutely.
And one of the ways that I do that is by using insurance products and services. And so that's my goal. Is I help educate my clients. That's, for me, is like one of my callings, is help educate people, because most people don't know what you know, let's say a life insurance policy can do for them. They think that it's strictly a death benefit. And so one of the things that I like to do is just that, is educate my clients and make them aware of what's available and what they can do.
Absolutely. So Daniel, you're coming back to the bank account bonus central community to share how you can help others keep as much money as we can. There's two different parts of finances. You have offense, which is how much money you can bring in, and you have defense, which is preventing money from leaving that doesn't need to leave.
Right.
So I like to leave on that note. Really do appreciate Daniel showing up. Look forward to him.
Thank you.
Shout out in the comments. Bring Daniel back. Definitely want to see him. He's absolutely a wealth of information and a solid guy, really good friend. And with that, I would like to see you in the next one. Peace. And
Appreciate it, John.
thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.